Hello, you guys. Welcome to episode 4 of, yes, The Method to the Magic. Yes, I'm back. As I said, I believe it's a weekly thing. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. I really, really do. I know that last week, episode 3 was a little longer because I combined 2 episodes into one. And so, but this one is not, this one is only one. I combined 2 lessons into one. Let me get that straight. Into one episode. But this week is just one lesson. And so hopefully you guys will like it. It's gonna be short, sweet. As you can see, yes, I'm wearing my Penn State University mom gear today. So I got a lot of stuff I'm moving. I got a lot of moving parts today. A lot of stuff going on. I decided that I would gear up and just be reminded of why I do everything that I do. It's for my child. Yeah, she that's my baby. That's my baby. So yeah, so got my Penn State mom hat. I usually don't, y'all can see it really is me. I try not to wear baseball caps whenever I'm going to be in front of a camera because it kind of shades my face, but y'all know it's me. But anyway, so hope you guys are doing well. Hope that you looking forward to hearing your comments and just about how a lot of you are doing. You speak to me offline, which is fine. I get a lot of text messages and with just different comments about how the lessons are really helping you and how much you really have appreciated the book. And once again, I'm just going to remind you, if you wouldn't mind, just because I think it would be nice to just kind of have this little shared space. That's why I wanted to do this 12-week episode of The Method to the Magic. Just as I can talk about each lesson. As I said last week, if you guys didn't miss it, because of the fact that I combined last week for episode 3, I combined 2 lessons into one. Episode 12 is going to be a bonus lesson, which is not in the book, and no one knows what the title is. Yeah, it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a good one. I think you'll like it, so you got to stick around to find out. And as I've said, I'm not going in order. So for those of you who think that episode 4 is lesson 4, you're wrong. It's not. You should have been paying attention. Episode 4, wait, what's the lesson number? I know the lesson, but I just want to make sure I get the number right. It's 9. Yes. Episode 4 is lesson 9. This, I've had a lot of great conversations with people about this, and that is that statement, you only live once, that YOLO, YOLO, you only live once. Once again, ridiculousness. That's right up there in the think outside the box ridiculous. Just get rid of the box, right? So YOLO is another one of those statements because it's just not true. You only live once is not a true statement. You want to know why it's not a true statement? Because you actually live every day. You live every day. Let me tell you what you only do once. Die. Okay? You live every day. So no, you do not just live once. You live every single day. You only die once. And there's a scripture, and I talk about this in my book just a little bit, where there's a scripture, I don't know what it is, but those of you who know the scripture, then you probably can pull it up faster than I could look it up. It's in Proverbs. But it talks about how life and death, the scripture says how life and death are in the power of the tongue, right? That's what life and death are in the power of the tongue. And there's even a song, I really love this song, where it says, speak life. And so if you think about it, if life and death are in the power of the tongue, then that means your tongue is a weapon. Made you look, right? It's like your tongue's a weapon of life and death. And, I have committed myself. This lesson could have probably been combined with the episode when I talked about complaining not being a strategy for victory. You only live once. That it's just not true. You live every day, and you have to speak life over your life. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Your words have wings. And what do wings do? Wings make things move, right? And so I talk about my book and how it's just like, I don't say have a nice day, because I say create a great day. Like, I get up and I'm committed to creating the great day that I want to have. And I speak life. And it's just, and if you just try that, just change, and it's just like these words of affirmation where you just speak life over your life. You speak the victory, you claim the victory. You speak, you don't speak in this defeated mindset. If you just, like, I mean, I have a lot of stuff going on in both my professional and my personal world. And even in my book, I talk about my health and the health scares that I've had. I don't get all into the details and air all my laundry in the book because that's not what the book is about. But I've gotten pretty banged up. But you know what? Every time I I just say like, okay, because it is what it is, you guys. It is what it is. So you have to acknowledge that it is what it is and figure out what you're going to do with it. Speak life over your life. I use in my book the example of a former colleague of mine who's a good friend. She retired, but she and I worked together for about 10, 11 years. And her husband was one of the most positive people I have ever met in my life. I mean, I'm serious. And he was like this prominent football star, like high school through college. And this man was just always like, I've just never met anyone like him in my life. And about a year before he passed away a couple of years ago, and about a year before he passed away, he had his leg amputated, right? He had been dealing with some health situation, and he had to have his leg amputated. And one of the things that I'm trying not to say his name to protect the privacy of my friend, but he used to always say, I've never had, this was even prior to him having his leg amputated. He would, anytime you would see him, you say, how you doing? He said, I've never had a bad day in my life. Some days are just not as good as others. And he would say this all the time. Never had a bad day in my life. Some days just, and I started thinking about that. I said, you know what? And I adopted that phrase from him because I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not having a bad day. It's just not as good as yesterday or the day before, but I'm not having a bad day. So you will not hear me say I would just say I'm not having a day that's as good as others. And what you guys will learn is when you speak life over your life, it does something. It changes the temperature. I talk about in the book about how you have to choose whether or not you're going to be a thermostat or the thermometer in your life. Thermostats, they set the temperature. Thermostats set the temperature. Thermometers react to the environment, whatever is going on around it. They both have a very good purpose, but you think about a thermostat, it's like I'm going to be the thermostat in my life. And I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. I am going to be the thermostat in my life. And talking about like with my friend, when he about a year before he passed away, he had his leg amputated, right? Which was just, anybody looking would be like, oh my God, I can't, because he was just like this amazing person, this athlete and he had his leg amputated. And 2 weeks after he was released from the hospital, having his leg amputated, you guys pay attention, leg amputated, right? My friend's mother had passed away, and we were at the graveside 2 weeks later. We were at the graveside of my friend's mom, and he was there, and he's in a wheelchair, with his leg amputated, and I was standing there talking to him, and someone walked up to him, and they said to him, first, it's ridiculous. They walk up to him and say, how you doing? Say, how you think he's doing? He has leg amputated. It's like, how do you think he's doing? Some people, I feel like if you don't know what to say, you should just not say anything, just be quiet. But when they came up to him and asked him how he was doing, he said that very thing that he always says. I've never had a bad day in my life. Some days are just not as good as others. And he said it with like this light and this sparkle and this joy in his face. And I'm going to tell you something. By the time I left that graveside and got back to my vehicle, I like boohoo cried. Like I just, and I even did a Facebook post that day. For those of you who are watching this might remember the Facebook post that I did, where I just said, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about nothing. And I got like this zero tolerance after that, where I have zero tolerance for anybody complaining about anything after that. I will unfriend you on Facebook if you complain too much. I'll just unfriend you, period, because I just don't want your negative energy around me. I just don't. Because I'm the thermostat. And if your negative energy turns me into a thermometer, which I do not want to be. So you know what? So you only live once. It's not a true statement. It's just not. Whoever made that should be beat up the same with the same person that made up the think outside the box thing. All these little ridiculous sayings, we're gonna stop saying it. So stop saying that. You live every day. You live every day. You only die once. And so, since you know that you only die once, you better get busy living and thinking about what you're going to do. Do the best that you can with what you have right now. And live every day. Choose life. Speak life over your life. Because this tongue of yours, it's a weapon. Figure out what you're going to do with it. Speak life over the people around you. I don't care what it is. Speak life because you actually live every day. All right. So that's episode 4. So next week, episode 5. Yes. What am I going to say? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going in order. You guys should know by now. I'm not going in order. I'm not even giving hints, but it's going to be fun. All right. So remember, subscribe, like, share. We've been through all that. Subscribe, like, share. And leave comments and tell me what you guys think. You guys are, I appreciate the text messages and everything, but comment so that other people can know what you're thinking, right? And it helps me. Like, I like to know. And for those, and I just want to know what you think. And you can, but you'll get a faster response from me, reaction from me if you're not, because I can't respond to everybody's. And it's easier for me to respond to everybody's comments in one place. And so, if you don't mind doing that, do that. All right. And I will see you guys next week for more of episode 5 of The Method to the Magic. Peace.